All right, so in this tutorial, I'm going to go ahead and load some natural earth data. So with natural earth, it's a little bit more compressed, so it's just easier to work with, especially if you have an older computer or if you're using like a virtual computer, doesn't have a lot of RAM. I do find that natural earth is somewhat easier to use. And one of the things that you'll probably run into if you start doing a lot of stuff with QGIS or maps in general is that there is just lots of data. And a lot of times you will download data and go through 5 data sets, 10, 15 before you actually find the data you want. And just for an example, this is natural earth. I went ahead and got the physical and the cultural. And this is all the stuff in the physical. So I don't even know what bathymetry is. Obviously some of these like coastline, I have no idea what this geographic lines is actually for. Some of these, just to find out what they are, you could either read like a data sheet or you can just open them up inside of QGIS. Either way, it makes it a little bit more difficult. And then you run into the problem of keeping all your stuff organized. So for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just going to leave all the natural earth data in the exact same folders. I mean, one of the other things you could do is copy like all the files for these shape files and move them into a separate folder. And that way you would have all the natural earth data that you want just like in one location. But I am going to leave them all right here. All right, so to start with, I'm going to go to QGIS and make a new project. And then raster are actual pictures, whereas vector is scalable. So essentially, if you actually tunneled into what a vector data is, it's just a bunch of latitude and longitudinal pairs. And then they're just put in sequences. Sometimes they can have like Z data. So if you say, for instance, you had like latitude, longitude, and the elevation. So is that negative 140 by 40 and then 10,000 feet. But most of the time, it's just simply latitude and longitude pairs, and then the program itself has an algorithm to make it scalable so you get somewhat accurate results even at adjusted scales. But all the stuff from natural earth, at least the stuff that we're going to be using, is vector. So there are also two different, well, actually, as you can see, there's lots of different types of vector data, but we'll be using mostly shapefiles and GDB files. So shapefiles are an older format, but they're more compatible. And one of the benefits to shapefiles is that in QGIS, you can actually write to them. I think if you kind of move stuff around enough and you go through enough extra hoops, you can write to GDB files, but I haven't actually figured out yet. If I want to write, I'll either put into a database or use a shapefile. And then a directory would be for a GDB file. You would go here and here. And we will go to here. So for starters, I want to load cultural, and I just want to get the boundaries of the states. It should be here somewhere. Yeah, states, provinces. Make sure I get the right one. States, provinces, shape. And there you go. There's the world for you. Right-click on the layer and go to Properties. Yeah, so if you don't want to see the fill, you can go ahead and change that. And you can just change the simple fill and put fill style, no brush. And now we'll just have an outline of the states and get rid of all that extra color. If you want the color, you can change it. You can also change all sorts of stuff. So you can make it like hashed or whatever you want, like Zelda pattern. I'm not sure what those are, but you can do all that stuff. But I don't want to do that. So we're just going to do outline blue, and I'm going to change that back to black. And I'll make this a little bit smaller. Kind of back the way it was before I started messing with it. So there we go. We have the United States. And one of the other things that, like I said, there's lots of data that you're going to load up into some of the projects. So one of the things you can do is not only organize it on your actual file system, but to organize it within QGIS. So I'm going to put all the natural earth data in one group. So this is going to be a group. It's going to be called Natural Earth. And you can just drag that into the group, and that'll go in there. And I'm going to go ahead and save it. And I'll just save it right here. We'll call it hike. I don't like to put spaces in anything. If you want to write a script to start moving files around, I just find it easier. But you can name it whatever you want. Alright, so I'm going to next add the lakes. And lakes are physical. So we'll go back to physical and we will do lakes. I also like rivers. Let's do lakes and rivers. So we'll do lakes in North America. And it doesn't get, they're missing quite a few lakes. But if we want to change to, I'm not sure what even lakes they have loaded. Yeah, it doesn't have much data in here. And if you want to see what stuff is, this is called the identity tool or identify features tool. And you can just click on a lake. And that's the Buffalo Bill Reservoir. That's Ocean Lake. They even have like Yellowstone Lake here. I don't know what lake that is. Reservoir. Okay, well, they have some lakes. I'll close that out just to give myself more room on the screen. And if you want to make the lakes blue, if you right click here, you can go to properties. And then you can just change the fill color to whatever color you want. So I want it to be blue. And we have blue lakes. And you can click on that. If you want to move around, that's the little hand tool. Will help you to move around. And we can zoom out a bit and I'll go and save it. I like to save a lot because sometimes, especially if you have a lot of data, I find QGIS will sometimes crash. So I like to save it all. That way I won't have to keep redoing everything I want to do all over again. And I'll just go ahead and add the rivers. And then we'll go to vector and it should be in here somewhere. We'll go rivers, North America. And we have rivers. I want the rivers to be blue as well. And now we have blue rivers. But I want to know what names they are so that you can look at the attribute table and we will apply labels. But I'm going to do that in the next video just to keep these videos at a somewhat decent length.